and it's working. So why, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. If you don't need to change it, then you know what's wrong with that? Just because it's just not what you want, is it?
I think I'll be phoning the bookies to see what the odds are on that one. Now, ITV is 50 years old this year, and to celebrate, we took all the empty bottles outside Carol's flat back to the shop, and we got £2,000. Actually, we got £100,000 and we're giving it away as the days go. Now, for a chance to win, just don't act as if it's so ridiculous. Have a wee go answering this question. Emmerdale is set in which county? Is it A, Essex, B, Sussex, or C, Yorkshire? Call 09012 931 941. Calls cost £1 but may vary from mobiles. Or text the word COMP followed by A, B or C to 63337. Each text costs £1 plus standard network charge. Entrants must be 18 or over. Terms and conditions are at itv.com/loose-women. Good luck. We'll let you know who has won at the end of the show. We're heading for a break now, but join us in 3 when actress Casey Ainsworth and charmer Nigel Havers will be there. We're off for a cup of tea. Back soon. Welcome back to Wednesday's Loose Women. Still to come today, the East End Vixen and the Charmer. EastEnders Casey Ainsworth and Nigel Havers on Playing Against Type. Now, just a quick email here on long-distance relationships from Alexandra in Leeds. She says, the main problem I see is you don't realise the bad habits that your partners may have. Your partner. After working in different countries for 2 years, I've just married my long-term boyfriend and discovered he loves nothing better than biting and then eating his toenails.
Oh, that's awful.
You see,
you never need to know that, do you?
No, I think actually I now agree with you.
But actually, it's me
right.
who's got the bad habits, so I'm quite all right with that, you see.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not biting my toenails and eating them, though. That's
don't want to picture it. Now, listen, every Wednesday we have this slot called Loose Morals, and we invite people to write in with a particular dilemma to see what our take is on it. Not suggesting we can solve anything, but just to give you our opinion. So this is a fairly serious one from, I won't say her name actually, but a lady in Hampshire who says, I've been married for 4 years. My husband is a brilliant husband and father. He dotes on our children. He's caring, considerate. We rarely argue, but when we do, it can get quite heated. Last week we had a horrible argument and he ended up hitting me. He did apologise immediately. He was very, very upset. In 6 years together, he's never laid a finger on me. He seemed genuinely distraught, but when my mum saw the bruise, she insisted I leave him immediately. What should she do? I mean, obviously a question she can only answer herself, but what do you think, Kim?
Dump him. Get rid of him. I wouldn't have that. No way. No way.
Been together 6 years, the only instance that she's ever had.
Yeah,
they've got 2 children.
Doesn't matter, does it? I mean, there is always the chance that someone can just change one day. I mean, you see it all the time. I mean, there is a family member of mine, a male family member that I cannot reveal, but he was in a relationship with a girl for 3 years, and suddenly she started hitting him. She punched him in the face, split his lip, just suddenly changed. And because he let her get away with it that one time, she just knew then she could carry on, carry on, carry on. I say, no, dump him.
Well, I mean, clearly if you've had that experience and it panned out that way, I can see why you're saying that, but it's not always going to work out that way, is it? What do you think, James?
Well, I think there's an awful lot for this lady to give up. She's got 2 children, she's got a household.
I think it's 2.
She loves him, obviously. I think it's terrible that he has hit her. There's no getting away from that. And if it was me personally, it probably wasn't striking out. But I think once you can forgive, twice you can't. If it happens a second time, I mean, it is easy to get a temper. I know I've got a temper on me. And a lot of people have a bad temper. And sometimes something can just push you over the edge. And I know there's no excuse for it, but in that position, there's an awful lot financially. You just don't know her circumstances. I think once you can forgive, but they have to sit down and say, if this ever happens again, you are on your way.
But how do you get back? The reason I would say, I would agree with Kim and say, you know, you probably should leave him. She probably will, I would have thought, eventually will anyway, because I don't see how you can come back from that. I don't see how you can be married to someone who, you know, supposedly who loves you, who can actually physically, you know, hit you with, you know, with great strength if you're a man. And if I were a woman in that situation, I would never be able to look at him in the same light again. And so from that moment onwards, everything changes. And, you know, it could possibly go downhill. Of course there's a lot to lose. And it's too easy to just say, oh, she should dump him. But also, what does the mother know? If the mother is saying, oh, she should definitely leave him, then maybe there's more to it than we know.
Yeah, that's a very interesting fact, because, I mean, she's obviously made that decision knowing the guy, and we don't know the guy. I mean, I would say that clearly that the kind of fear here is that this bloke is going to turn into an abuser, an abusive person. And the only thing I would say is usually, and I'm not being an expert on it, but usually there are other traits that accompany that, aren't they? You know, a general kind of wearing down, psychological abuse, and, you know, a kind of controlling behaviour. She doesn't seem to be saying that that's been in evidence at all. She describes him as caring, considerate. So I would say she's really got to sit down and be very honest about the relationship and look back and think, has this really been a happy relationship? Is this really the first sort of worrying sign that I've seen? Is it an isolated incident? Or actually, when you take a long, hard look at it, have there been other little signs? And I agree with you, Jane, you've just got to make it absolutely clear to him and to yourself.
But don't you just think that, you know, if a bloke is capable of hitting a woman even once, he's capable probably of doing it again?
Yeah. I think that's a huge generalisation. I mean, I think, yes, in many instances, but I don't think you can say in every instance. I really don't. But, and also, that luckily, there is professional help available now. And, I mean, a phone call, an anonymous phone call to the appropriate number to talk it over with somebody is probably a worthwhile thing, even if you decide the best thing is to stay. You know, it might be worthwhile having that conversation with somebody. And I hope you do that, actually, our friend that's written to us, and I hope you get it sorted out. And thanks very much for sending us an email. Thank you. Now, she burst into our lives and into tears as the queen of the drudges, little Mo Slater. Millions of us cheered as she decked evil Trevor with an iron and gasped as she was sent down for the crime. All that's behind her now. She's involved with her sister's husband, Alfie, just to make things easier. And things are about to blow in big style.
What was it then? Was it a friendly kiss? Mates? It was a kiss goodbye. A kiss goodbye from what, Mo? From us, from you. It's over. Oh, we're back there again. What's over, Mo? What's over? Are you going to say, or what? Me and Alfie have been seeing each other.
Oh, that's tomorrow night in EastEnders. Please welcome Casey Ainsworth.
Hello.
So, are we going to get a cat fight?
Oh, definitely. More than a cat fight, for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's lots of hair pulling and wailing and mascara running.
She's quite scary.